Okay, dear students, today we are going to start off with one more chapter in physics, that is the third chapter. And the title of the third chapter is Current Electricity. So it is again a very important chapter from the point of view of knowledge and from the point of view of your annual exam, CET or NEET. A very, very important chapter. So you must be very thorough and you must understand each and every concept what I am going to teach in this particular chapter. Okay, so it is a second part of the thing what you have already learned. See, in all the previous two chapters, we have learned about the static charges or the charges at rest, right? Or you studied the phenomena associated with the charges at rest, isn't it? But in this chapter, you are going to discuss with the another phase of the charges, that is, if the charges are in motion, then what effects they will create. Okay, so therefore, dear students, in this chapter we are going to discuss about the charges which are in motion. Now, let us start off with this. Here, before actually going to the concept, first let us know what actually is the current electricity. What is the meaning of current electricity? What actually it is? Yes. So, dear students, current electricity is a branch of physics. It is a branch of physics. Just like the other branches of physics, it is a branch of physics, just like the optics, just like the magnetism, dynamics, statics, like that. Current electricity is also a branch of physics, and it mainly deals with the electric current. It deals with the study of electric current and the phenomena or the effects associated with it. Effects and phenomena associated with it. Okay, so that is the main the meaning of the current electricity. Suppose if anybody asks you about what actually is the current electricity, then remember, current electricity is the branch of physics which deals with the study of electric current, or even you can consider it deals with the study of flow of charges. Okay, and also when the charges flow from one place to another place, when the charges flow from one point to another point, what effects and what phenomena they produce, we are going to discuss about all those effects and phenomena. Okay, I hope the meaning of current electricity is clear to all of you. If it is clear, then we can go to the next concept, that is electric current. Dear students, here current electricity and electric current, they are completely different words. See, just you feel that there is only exchange of terms, right? Current electricity, electric current, right? It appears as if there is only exchange of terms, but they are completely different, because current electricity is a branch of physics. It is the subject what we are going to study. It is the theory what we are going to study. But whereas electric current is a completely different concept. Electric current is a physical quantity. It is a physical quantity. Yes. In the first year, during the study of units and measurements, you have discussed about the fundamental quantities and derived physical quantities, isn't it? So out of those 7 fundamental quantities, the electric current was also there. You might have observed this. Okay. Therefore, electric current, it is a physical quantity. It is a measurable factor. Okay. It is a measurable factor. It is one effect of flow of charges. Right. So, what actually is the electric current? How can understand the electric current? For that, let us understand one phenomenon here. See, assume that there is one conductor, right? A conductor of a particular length and a conductor of a particular thickness. Now, some charges or some charges are present here, right? And when these charges flow from one end of the conductor to another end of the conductor, when they start to flow, then they produce some effect. The effect which is produced, if it is measured with respect to some standard factors like the area of cross section of the conductor, or by considering the time factor, then we get the electric current. Very simple. I want to make it very clear. That is, suppose the area of cross section of this wire or the conductor is, say, 1 square centimeter or 1 square millimeter. Okay, area of cross section of the wire is 1 square millimeter. Through this area of cross section, if some n number of charges are flowing, n number of charges, usually we represent one charge as E, and if n number of charges are flowing through this 1 millimeter square area of the conductor in time t second, in a time how much second, t second, then that quantity of charges which are considered with respect to area, with respect to time, it is considered as the electric current. Okay. So electric current, it depends upon how many charges are flowing through unit cross-sectional area of the conductor in a particular time interval. Hence, it is defined as the ratio of amount of charges flowing through the unit cross-sectional area of the conductor in a time interval, in a particular time interval t. Okay. If you want to define what is electric current, you have to define it by considering these three things. First thing is, it is the ratio of amount of charges to, okay, ratio of amount of charges to current. That is the first thing. Then it also deals with the amount of charges which are flowing through unit cross sectional area of the conductor. Okay, so remember this. Hence, it can also be defined in another way. What is that? It is defined as the rate of flow of charges. Rate of flow of charges through a cross-sectional area of the conductor, or through a unit cross-sectional area of the conductor. Of a conductor is called as the electric current. So in a simple way, in a very simple way, you can define it as the rate of flow of charges. When you consider the rate of flow of charges, then it is understood that we have considered the time factor there. Okay, it is understood. No need to again consider it as the ratio of amount of charges to the time interval. Not necessary. Simply if you write rate of flow of charges, then it is enough. Okay, so therefore here, as it is the ratio of amount of charges to the time interval through in which the charges are flowing through the cross sectional area of the conductor, hence it is written as I is equal to q divided by t. Okay, so any problem regarding this, regarding the definition of electric current? If you have any doubt or any questions, you can ask. Right. See here, I have told you that Q represents the amount of charges. It represents the amount of charges. So already we have learnt it in the previous two chapters also. Therefore, if amount of charges is there, then it can be considered in terms of integral multiple of basic charge or the fundamental charge. That's why Q can be taken as N into E. So what this N indicates? It indicates the number of charges, whereas E indicates the fundamental charge, or E indicates one electron or one proton. Okay, already we know all these things. Therefore, instead of Q, I can substitute N into E divided by T. Right. So this may help you in understanding the concept as well as in solving some problems related to CET NEET. Okay. So better to note this formula also. Now, as I told you, dear students, it is one physical quantity. It is a measurable thing. We can measure the magnitude of the electric current and we can express it in terms of one SI unit. Yes, therefore the SI unit of electric current is ampere, and symbolically it is represented as capital A. Okay, ampere. So how this ampere is defined? Because I told you that in the examination there may be one or the other definition to one or the other unit to define. They may ask you to define potential difference, the SI unit of the potential difference, that is volt. They may ask you to define what is ampere, right? So therefore you must be in a position to define the SI units. So how this ampere is defined? Very simple. See, ampere can be defined by taking uh, a fixed quantity of charge, like if Q is equal to 1 coulomb, and 1 coulomb of charges flow through cross-sectional area of the conductor in time t, that is say 1 second, right? In that case, the amount of electric current will be 1 ampere, right? So 1 ampere or ampere can be defined as the current which is flowing through cross-sectional area of the conductor due to flow of 1 coulomb of charge in 1 second of time. Okay, if 1 coulomb of charge flow through cross-sectional area of the conductor in 1 second of time interval, then the current which is flowing through that conductor is said to be 1 ampere. Like this, it can be defined. Is it clear? Yes. Any problem regarding this? Any problem regarding what actually is the electric current and what is the SI unit of the electric current, and how to define the ampere. Yes, how to remember it. Very simple. Just you have to remember charge as 1 coulomb, time as 1 second, then the current will be 1 ampere. This is the trick what we have. Yes. Any problem, dear students, regarding what we have discussed here? No problem?
No, sir.
Okay. Then shall we continue? Yes. See here. Here we have few more concepts, few more things to learn or to understand regarding the electric current. See, the electric current is usually, when we practically consider the electric current, then uh, we consider the electric current in two ways, two different ways. One is the conventional current, one is the conventional current, and another one is the electronic current. Electronic current. Okay. Yes. Try to understand this. Okay. See, suppose one conductor is there. One conductor, and if charges are assumed to be flowing in this conductor, usually flowing charges means they are nothing but the electrons. Okay. So usually if charges are flowing, then definitely we have to consider that electrons are flowing. Remember, always remember, if charges are flowing, then always we have to consider the what we have to understand that the electrons are flowing. Okay, because electrons are the charge carriers here. Actually, protons are also charge carriers. Protons also carry the positive charge. But you know that protons are usually they are bounded to, they are restricted to the nucleus of the atom, isn't it? They are not found freely in any substance. You know the atomic structure. If you consider one atom, then in that atom there is a central core which is called as the nucleus, and in the nucleus there is a group of proton and neutron. So proton and neutron, they are having one a bond between them. That's why they are there. They are inside the nucleus because of one bond that is called as the atomic bond, nuclear bond, isn't it? So these protons are not free to move. If you consider one copper, a metal of copper, then in the copper, these protons which are present in the nucleus, they are not free to move. Then who are free to move? Who are free to flow? Yes, the electrons which will be revolving around the nucleus. Yes, these electrons, okay, they are free to move. Particularly the electrons which are present in the outermost orbit, they are free to move. Why? Because they are loosely bonded with the nucleus. They have got very small force of attraction with the nucleus because of the distance there. As they are far away from the nucleus, the force of attraction between nucleus and the electrons in the outermost orbit, it is less. And because of this, what happens, if any small amount of energy is given to them, or even in the we call it as excitation state. Yes, if any small amount of energy in the form of heat or in the form of light, if it is given, or in the form of external electrical energy, then these electrons become free and they can start to move in the metal. They can be moved from one place and to another place of the metal. They can conduct through the metal. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, if we say that the charges are flowing, then always remember that the electrons are flowing from one end of the conductor to another end of the conductor. Okay, and as the electrons flow from one end of the conductor to another end of the conductor through cross sectional area of the conductor, through the cross sectional area of the conductor, that will lead to one current, and that current is called as electronic current. Okay, it is called as electronic current. Remember. And dear students, in the opposite direction to this electronic current, we assume one more current, that is called as the conventional current. So conventional current is always taken in the opposite direction to the electronic current. Remember. So whenever we are making the discussion, practically whenever we are studying the flow of charges, then we do not consider the direction of the electronic current. See how wonderful it is. Actually, current is because of electrons, because of the flow of electrons. But then also, when we are making the study of electricity, when we are making the study of current, then we do not consider the direction of the flow of electrons. We do not consider the direction of electronic current. No. Then what we consider? We consider the opposite direction, that is the conventional current. Remember, conventional current is always considered during the study of current electricity. Remember this. Okay. Therefore, whenever we are showing any connection of any battery in the circuit, okay, in the 10th standard already you have learnt about the chapter electricity chapter ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕಲ್ತಿರಿ, right? So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಟರಿಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡ್ವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ತೋರಿಸಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕರೆಂಟ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ತೋರಿಸಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Yes, so we show it with the help of arrow mark, and see the arrow mark which indicates the flow of current, it is the conventional current. Okay, it is the conventional current. Remember, it is not the electronic current, and the direction of the conventional current is always taken from positive terminal to negative terminal of the battery. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಇಂದಾನೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ತಗೋತೀವಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್ ನಾವು ಆರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So therefore remember this, remember the difference between electronic current and the conventional current. So we are not using the direction of electronic current to represent in any discussion. We are always using the direction of the conventional current, which is taken in the opposite direction to electronic current. Yes. Now here, after the discussion of conventional current and electronic current, the next concept is what type of physical quantity is electric current? Because we know that whenever we have physical quantities, we usually classify them as scalar quantities and vector quantities. And here, what type of current is? What type of physical quantity is electric current? See, electric current is a scalar quantity. Okay, remember this always, dear students. It appears as if it is a vector quantity, but no, it is a scalar quantity. Remember, why it is a scalar quantity? Because 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 the electric current do not fulfill or do not follow the vector law of addition. It do not follow the vector law of addition. Yes, remember this. It will not follow the vector law of addition. That's why it is considered as the scalar quantity. Okay, so it's all about the electric current. The detailed discussion regarding the electric current is done. If you have any doubts of, or if you need any clarification regarding the discussion, you can ask. Otherwise, I will move to the next concept. I hope the idea of electronic current and conventional current is clear. Hope it is clear. Yes, electronic current is due to the actual flow of electrons, the negative charges through the conductor, whereas conventional current is the current which is taken in the opposite direction of the electronic current. Okay. Yes. Now we have the concept of electric current in solid conductors. Electric current in the solid conductors. See, already we have already I have given some idea regarding this. Anyway, it is my duty to explain about how the electric current in the solid conductors appear, or when they appear, or when they flow, or why they are present there in the conductors. Okay, see, dear students, try to understand it neatly. We know that conductors are, most of the time, if you consider, conductors are metals, right? And we know that in metals we find, usually in almost all metals we find lots of free electrons. These free electrons are also called as delocalized electrons. Delocalized electrons. Okay, so lots of free electrons will be there. And how these free electrons will be there in the metal or in the conductor? Yes, see, these free electrons are always in the state of motion, in the state of random motion. Remember this. They will be moving always, they will be moving here and there inside that metal, right? See, for example, if you assume that it is a piece of metal which is having lots of delocalized electrons here. Yes, lots of delocalized electrons. Then these electrons will be always, they will be moving in the random direction. So no particular direction will be there for their motion. They will be moving, yes, randomly. As they are found moving randomly, yes, during their motion, they usually collide with the other atoms or lattice structure of the conductor. whatever that atomic structure which is found inside the conductor, that is called as the lattice structure. Yes. So these electrons, they collide with the lattice structure, or they collide with the atoms, or sometimes they collide with each other also. So as they make the collision, yes, after the collision, they change their direction. Suppose one electron is moving in one particular direction, and it makes the collision. After the collision, that electron will change the direction. So because of this continuous collision which is found inside the metal, these electrons are found to be moving in the random direction. Okay. Now, I have one question, whether electric current will be present in that conductor or in that metal or not. Electric current is present in that metal or conductor or not. Fast. What's your answer? Fast. We are left with only 5 minutes. What is your answer? Quickly. ಆನ್ಸರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆನೂ ನೀವೇ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ ಸರ್, ಉತ್ತರನೂ ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ನಮಗ್ ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ? So we have lots of other works to do. Why should we think? Allah? Yes. See, there is no current. No current will be there. So then one question arises, sir, how do you say that there is no current? Because you said that due to the flow of electrons, due to the flow of charges, the current is set up in the conductor. Right? You only told. But here when we see the conductor, the electrons are moving inside the conductor, the charges are moving inside the conductor. Then why the current is not there? No, current is not there. Why? Because if you consider any cross section of the conductor, right, due to the or because of the random motion of the electrons, see, number of electrons which are crossing from left to right of the cross section is equal to the number of electrons which are crossing the conductor or crossing the cross sectional area from right to left. ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾವೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಇಂದ ಕೂಡ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so therefore the net flow of charges through the cross sectional area of the conductor becomes zero. Why? Because of this random motion, the net flow of charges will be zero. Hence, if you consider in the metal in the normal state, unbiased state, then the current which is there in that metal or the conductor is zero. Current is not present. Current is zero. Then what we have to do? Suppose I have one metal, a piece of metal, and I want to set up the current through this metal. Then you have to make those electrons to move in one particular direction. Okay, they must stop their random motion and they must start to flow in a particular direction. Then how to make those electrons to move in a particular direction? Very simple. We have to connect one electromotive force device which is called as the EMF or battery. Okay, so when we connect an EMF or a battery of a particular voltage. Yes, if we connect the positive terminal and negative terminals of the battery, then what happens? The electrons start to flow in one particular direction. For example, here the electrons which are there, they are attracted by the positive terminal of the battery, and all the electrons start to move, yes, towards the positive terminal of the conductor. Electrons start to move. Remember, I'm saying electrons. So therefore, there will be net flow of charges through any cross-sectional area of the conductor. That is from right to left. Right to left ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ electrons flow ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ start ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That is called as the electronic current. And in the opposite direction to that electronic current, we consider the conventional direction of the current, which is from left to right. Now we say that the current is flowing through the metallic conductor. See, until and unless one EMF, electromotive force, okay, the force which makes the electrons to move, right? So if that force source is not connected, the source of that force is not connected, then the electrons will not move in a particular direction, and there is no net flow of charges. Okay, so dear student, to understand the current through solids, see, we have to understand all these factors. Okay, hence in the metals, the free electrons or delocalized electrons or the valence electrons, yes, they are the charge carriers. They are known as the charge carriers. Okay, they are the one which carry the charge.